Okay. So hi, thank you for joining, sir. And we have Mr. Jagan Shyam Kusuma here with us, who is also a chemistry teacher with more than 2 decades of a rich experience in teaching CBSE, ICSE, ISC, and IB curriculum. He teaches, he has taught and guided more than students from 9th to 12th standard who are preparing for IIT-JEE, NEET, uh, preparing IIT Foundation, Olympiad, and intermediate board examinations. He himself has worked as a chemistry teacher in reputed college and helping students in cracking engineering and medical entrance exams, both at state and national levels. Uh, Today, we are meeting him as founder of Jagan Shyam Academy. And through systematic and concept based teaching methodology, his students have learned and excelled in chemistry. Very welcome, Jagan sir, and to this interaction. Uh, can you also share with us something about Jagan Shyam Academy and what the thought that went behind it?
Thank you so much, Nupur, for your introduction. Let me give a brief introduction about me also. I'm Jagan Shyam Kusuma here. I've done my master's in chemistry and environmental science, and I've been in this teaching industry for more than 2 decades. Of course, I'm a seasoned teacher, and also I'm an international curriculum handler. Also, I've trained students for all premium entrance exams like IIT-JEE, NEET-UG, BITSAT, UG, so on and so forth. Yeah. So our major area of expertise in supporting students is like from 8th grade to 12th grade, and we handle all curriculums like right from national curriculums like CBSE, ICSE, ISC, to international curriculums like IGCSE, IB curriculum, and like abroad curriculums like if you take advanced placement and honors curriculum. Also we do handle, and we are into hybrid model. Like we mostly focus on quality rather than quantity. Our main USP is to focus on one-on-one attention of students, whatever curriculum or whatever is the subject. Yeah. And also like I have good number of teachers on two different platforms. Like I have offline teachers who are working on offline platform at the same time. There are teachers who are in online platform, and like it's like a different strategy I apply. Being a seasoned specialist in training teachers, and also training them properly to utilize both the platforms and giving value addition for the students. That is the role where I play on regular basis, on day-to-day basis, and that's where we try to deliver the results for the parents as well as students. Yeah.
That's amazing. So here's a question I want to ask you. So, what do you think? I mean, when it comes to curriculum of 8th to 10th, how does that build a foundation for competitive exams like NEET and IIT-JEE? As a parent, I always thought that. What should a
Right.
parent do to build that foundation?
That's a good question, actually. So it goes like this. Normally, once students comes to high school level, that is for eighth grade. Eighth grade and 10th grade is high school level. So like this is the area where every child has a dream, uh, future, next after 10th grade, what they want to become. It's a big challenge, not only for students, even for the parents also. So usually what we do is first and the foremost, we guide the students in such a way that we will first do some career counseling, intense career counseling we are going to do. In career counseling, we come to a conclusion that where the students are going to fit in, like whether they are going to fit into the science stream or humanities or commerce stream, whatever. But usually in our academy, in our Jagan's Academy, what we do is we create a common platform for all the students, because we feel that first the basic core subjects, if they are taught properly, like particularly like if I say math, physics, chemistry, biology, of course math is always there, whichever stream the students are going to settle down the line after completing their 12th grade, whether they want to enter into science stream or humanities or commerce, whatever. Math is a mandatory subject. And apart from math, we are also adding mental ability. So we deal all together 5 subjects. First, we'll try to create a very good, you know, strong foundation in all these 5 subjects like math, physics, chemistry, biology, and mental ability. These subjects we focus upon. Then we just evaluate their performance regularly. Suppose if the student is performing very well in math, both mental ability math and also the core math, if is performing well, then it's a mandate that automatically, the student can be he can excel in the science part. I mean the IIT-JEE part. Suppose if the student is scoring very good in mental ability with bio, that means he's fitting for the NEET entrance exam, something like that. So we try to create a criteria and a special interest in the learning process, and that is where we try to classify the students slowly. We'll try to motivate them into their respective streams. Suppose if the student is performing very good in bio and math and mental ability, then he is having a chance. He's having a chance to go into MPC stream or in BIPC stream. He can become an engineer or he can become a doctor. It's like multi-talented, something like that. So that's how we try to slowly we'll try to motivate the student. What is our aim is to we make sure that the students are not excessively baggage, like we don't load them, but we understand the psychology in learning. That's where we show some difference, and we create that comfort level for every student.
I think that's a
Yeah.
huge difference that you showcase, because not many institutes focus on the mental ability
Hmm.
preparation part of it. And that itself is a game changer, I believe, that you offer. So,
Exactly.
when we're talking about this,
Hmm.
many parents feel that the school curriculum alone is not
Hmm.
sufficient for competitive exam. And you also
Hmm.
mentioned that you also bridge it through
Mental
acumen
ability.
gap.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
what should parents do in this case? How can parents support?
See, like we can put it across like this, Nupur. Like, see, definitely the base foundation is textbook. Whether the student is in CBSE or ICSE or for IGCSE, whatever is the curriculum, the fundamental concepts are the same. But definitely, you take any subject, like if you take math, physics, or chemistry, usually teachers will have a mindset in general to always go little bit of out of the box, because a child always expects something more than what is there in the textbook. So every time, when we teach, we try to, recommend students to go with some good reference books, because reference books always plays a very important role in not only understanding concepts in a deepest level, they'll also give exhaustive and extensive examples and illustrative questions and exercises where the student will have a self-satisfaction that we are not only learning concepts thoroughly, we are also extensively doing all the relevant model questions. So it's something like, textbook with one or two good reference books which are available in the market. For example, if you take ICSE, is one of the best curriculum where, majority of the parents and students now they're choosing ICSE curriculum and ISC curriculum. If you take an ICSE curriculum student, definitely they not only have, regular textbooks, they also have good reference books in the market. Like we
Correct.
have Oswald's edition, we have Pearson, we have, some couple of reference books. Many reference books have come into the market so far, and Pearson is one of the popular edition. Oswald edition is one of the popular reference book where majority of the ICS students they try to follow. For 11th and 12th grade, we have a book called Frank. Okay, that's a special edition. So every student, they should have at least one reference book as a supportive kind of reference for any concepts or any questions, where in which the student can go from the textbook to the reference book and they can solve extensively all the questions. And of course, teachers are always there to to balance both reference books as well as textbooks in particular. That's where they try to score more than 95%, uh, the overall performance. So that's how the teachers can do a balancing effect, in fact.
Right.
Yes, no.
Um, and how different are the syllabus in these different boards, CBSE, ICSE, state board, international boards, when it comes to preparing for exams like NEET, IIT, JEE, or any other competitive exams?
Yeah, that's also a very good question, actually. Frankly speaking, if you take in our India, if you take national level curriculums, particularly CBSE and ICS, so I'll compare it like the state board, CBSE, and ICS and ISC. These are all national curriculums only. And suppose if we have a comparison between CBSE and ICSE, this is a very important discussion. If you take CBSE and ICSE, definitely there'll be some difference in every subject. Like normally, if you compare CBSE with ICSE, ICSE math is little bit easy, but CBSE math and local state board math is bit challenging. I don't say difficult, but it's a challenging area. Like you have more number of chapters for CBSE and state board, but less number of chapters for ICSE board, particularly in math. And the solving depth also, if you take ICSE, it's like convincingly the students can easily solve the problem. But again, when you go for CBSE and state board, many chapters they are very much, you have good number of challenging chapters are there. But again, when you compare this national curriculums with international curriculum, like if you compare an ICSE syllabus with IB curriculum, let's say, again the scenario is totally different. They have unique set of chapters. Like if you take IB curriculum, particularly in terms of physics and chemistry, there are some selective chapters. It's not like more, it's not about 10 chapters or 15 chapters. In IB curriculum, they have some 6 to 8 units, but all those content of the 6 to 8 units completely differ from ICSE and CBSE curriculum. It's more of, practical approach, practically calculated approach, or, they have to do a lot of projects and they have to create a lot of, real-time content to satisfy the evaluators, something like that. And we as teachers also, when we deal with IB curriculum, we need to solve a lot of questions which are present in the worksheets with the different concepts. So there's a lot of differences there between the international curriculum as well as the national curriculum. In national curriculum, see, we have only two or three types of questions. For example, in CBSE and ICSE, we have MCQs, and sometimes here and there subject to questions are there. Of course, if you take ICSE, there's no question based on state defined something like that. Every question is applicative, every question is skill based, every question is it's like critically thinking based. But if you go to the IB curriculum, it's more or less like subjective and descriptive. Like not only the student has to give a good detailing, it should have a lot of insights into that particular topic, giving real time examples, something like that. It's like a challenge based kind of curriculum. This is how we can differentiate between the national curriculums as well as international curriculums.
And
Of
how
course,
does it help in the overall competitive exam preparation? Which
Normally if you take international curriculum, as far as I'm concerned as a seasoned teacher, majority of the students who are in the international curriculum, they don't actually come to this side, like preparing for IIT-JEE or NEET. Rather, they prefer foreign universities. Like they can go for SAT preparation. There are many international exams where they'll opt for, and they'll try to settle there only. If you go for ICSE and ISE, preferably they opt only for national exams. Of course, there are plenty of different streams are there. I mean, different entrance exams are there for different streams. Like if you take science, humanities, commerce. If you take science, we have IIT-JEE, NEET-UG, SAT, BITSAT. These are all the popular entrance exams. Again, when you go for commerce and humanities, we have CUET, UGEE, LSAT. These have become very popular. And like nowadays students, they are also more interested in something like architecture, designing, bachelor of design, something like that. So today student is having an open doorstep to have his own choice, to have their own
correct,
choice. Okay.
correct.
And it's not like, at the end of the day, it's not like the students have to only write the entrance exams and only that is a gateway for them to settle on. It's not like that, because we are in the AI world. Students can do any kind of, experimentation. They can simply go for any good reputed graduation college. They can do some bachelors. From there also, they have very good competitive combinations. And from there also, they're getting very good placements. And they are equally on competent with the professional colleges who are coming out from NITs and IITs and BITS Pilani, something like that. Of course, there may be a thin line, but it all depends on how the student is carrying down the line. Maybe after 5 or 6 years, how he's carrying himself also, it matters at the end of the day. This is what personally and professionally as a seasoned teacher is what I feel down the line in this particular century. And Gen Z is very smart nowadays. We don't know what kind of route map they're going to create to settle down in their life.
And from this, I mean, one question that every parent is asking and every child is struggling with is, how do I manage my competitive exam preparation along with my school exam preparation? I mean, how do I balance that? So, what will your advice be to that child?
See, this I can put this in a very crisp manner. The poor actually, the success of every child, the result of every child depends on the environment where the child is going to get the environment. I mean, what are the environment child is having? If that environment is very robust, in the sense you should always spend time with the vibrant and talented teachers who have a lot of patience, and if the teacher knows the right learning pedagogy, and if the teacher can understand what is the learning process he can create for the child, then definitely results are bound to you know happen, and definitely the student is going to get good results. See, for example, if the student is not able to spend with the right kind of teacher, then definitely learning process gets stuck. So I have to say that first is the student should spend with right set of teachers. Second is the student also should have a continuous, flow of learning concepts, balancing between teacher and home. Like parents also have a role to play here. Okay.
Correct,
So
correct.
this kind of environment, if the student is able to acquire, definitely I think students will automatically get very good results. So I think Ushaji is there in the line and Sanjay Mandyalkar is also there. I think they can give more inputs and testimonials for Jagan's GS Academy.
I think we also have Ruchika, which is also here.
Yeah, yeah, yes, Ruchika. It's there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Hi,
Good,
Ruchika.
Hello, good evening.
Good
yeah,
evening.
good evening, Ruchika.
How are you all?
Yeah, we are all fine. There's a session going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we would like to hear about your experience with Jagan JS Academy.
Sure, Nupur. Thanks for the question. And I had approached Jagan sir regarding my daughter's Cambridge coaching. She is in grade 10 right now. And I think first and foremost, Jagan sir put a lot of efforts in finding the right teacher because the Cambridge curriculum is quite vast. And I think a few minutes back he was talking about applicability, right? So it is not just the concepts, etc. How do you apply the concepts? And I think what worked fantastically, especially for mathematics in my case, was finding that right teacher and like giving the right time and flexibility in terms of like teaching the concepts, taking through because it's a couple of years long journey as well, right? So doing the basics and the fundamentals right is very, very important for the kid. And I think what I appreciate is the teachers that were referred by Jagan sir, and he took time to schedule those sessions. He was very, very meticulous about like the teachers giving the right time. Is the engagement right? Are there proper assessments and all the feedback? And also considering what is important, the feedback from both the kid and the parent as well, saying is it the right fit on the both sides, right? So feedback from the teacher, feedback from the parents and kid as well, both equally important. So I think it worked quite well for me, and I would really appreciate and thanks to Jagan sir for that.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Ruchika. Thank you for your
And Usha,
feedback.
some words from you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to have had the chance to work with Jagan sir in the capacity of his fractional chief strategy officer. And what I see is, that larger philosophy is so strongly embedded in Jagan's JS Academy. The example that comes to my mind is, that of Mahabharat when Dronacharya asked his students, there was a bird on the tree and they had to shoot it. He asked the students, what do you see? Some students told trees, some said branches, some said birds, and Arjuna said he sees only the eye. I think students need that teacher who will tell them what to see. They need someone who can train how to block out the noise and focus on only what is required, right? And I find that Jagan sir and his entire teaching staff is extremely adept at that. Because what's required today is, not just knowledge. Uh, Children will study throughout the year, but what really matters is that test window, during that test, how they perform. So really what is required is for the teachers to not look at knowledge, but also help bridge that gap between knowledge and performance. And that's where that real win lies, right? And I see, his team of teachers, they are so highly experienced and highly knowledgeable, and they come with such deep level of patience and care for their student. They're able to, they know each student, and when I think a student feels important, they are able to, their performance increases, right? And we know that, what I mean, if we saw the recent World Cup, it was not about skill level at all. It is about under pressure, how do you perform? And who performs the best wins the cup. So, as a strategist, what I've been advising and what I'm seeing it so much very heavily embedded in his philosophy is, that he designs everything with three focus areas. One focus area is academics, of course. So he has, very strong NCRT, curriculum background, and he's bursting that myth that you don't require 25 different books. If you focus on the NCRT syllabus, it kind of, checks all boxes. Second, what I see is the exam strategy. How do you do time management? How do you do question selection? You don't have to answer every question. Sometimes there is negative marking as well. So, how do you make sure you're prioritizing and you're choosing your questions? You're doing intelligent guesstimates in your questions. That is what is, required for exam preparation. And I think he has a team of teachers, and he himself is so adept at that. And the third area is mental readiness, which he was just talking about, that, you need to create the right ecosystem for the student, because they are really the ones that need not only great teachers but very supportive parents, and a system that they can flourish in, so that focus, confidence, ability to self regulate during pressure situation, all of this is taught along with, the concepts of organic chemistry and all other things which everyone does, right? So I think what I see in his teachers is they are also equipping the students with performance skills, because performance skills are very trainable. It is not like, everyone needs to be born with it. So I find, Jagan sir's entire ideology, his philosophy, and the way he's executing it with his team of teachers is like, making sure every Arjuna finds his Gurukul and Dronacharya.
Beautifully
and
mentioned. Thank you
and
so
he's
much,
telling
Usha.
marks will follow. Don't worry
Thank you
about the
so
marks.
much.
All of that will follow.
Wonderfully mentioned. And yes, it is definitely helpful for all who will be listening to this discussion also, because as somebody who's into emotional intelligence space, what helped me the most was something which was for parents. I have personally felt, even with all good intentions, sometimes we are not able to give our children the best of attention. But if we have the kind of support that Jagan's JS Academy provides, it kind of makes our work easier, makes our life easier. And I think I would definitely like to mention what you did for me personally recently, where helping me provide a support for my daughter's psychology support, psychology tuition support, where I was looking for a teacher, and I wanted a teacher for psychology. I was not able to get it. Me being in the psychology space myself, I was looking for somebody to teach psychology and not just be a psychologist themselves. So that was something which was amazing. So thank you so much, and you've been very, very helpful. And I am sure this will be a very helpful for all people who this will reach out to. So thank
Yeah.
you, Jagan ji. And
Uh,
Somnath ji, I I think you're slightly delayed because we are almost on the verge of closing this discussion. It was a wonderful
Fine,
discussion.
actually, I already told you that I'm
I
a
know,
bit
I know
busy
you
right now.
did. It's wonderful that you are here with us, and I'm very grateful that you've
Just
made
skipping my
time to
own,
be
so
with us.
that's why I joined
I
you.
would like
I
to,
know, but you are very, it was very sweet, and thank you, Usha, for this wonderful, I would say, testimonial that you've given as a CF, Chief Fractional Officer. She's
yeah,
Chief Fractional Officer to Jagan Academy,
yeah.
GS Academy. And thank
Nupurji,
you.
I'd like to take one extra minute of time because
Yes,
nothing has been discussed about online classes for Jagan's Academy. Just 1 minute time
yes,
I'm going to take.
yes,
See, particularly when any of my friends or parents or whoever, when they ask any need for a particular teacher, I always feel that I'm already a seasoned teacher. So when I talk to any XYZ teachers for that particular need, I'll talk in a strict teacher language only. That's my biggest USP in connecting with the top grade teachers. First, I'll make my teachers to work for my Jagan's Academy because I have a very, very systematic, healthy, structured way of, encouraging teachers also. Before connecting any online teacher to any parent or any friend or any sibling, whatever, I'll give them a detailed description and I'll broadcast them what is the future they have with Jagan's Academy if they start teaching for my students, for my academy. There are many teachers who just started as a casual, online teachers for my academy. They went on. Today, there are some nearly 50 to 20 teachers in my academy, in my pool, where they are continuously teaching for not less than 4 to 5 years. There are some teachers who cross 5 years. It's because they love to, travel with the structure what we have created and the way we give them freedom and space in learning their subject and spending time with my teachers. That's how I have created that pedagogy. And that's where the teachers love to, participate in the online class and they'll start helping my students. So this point, I thought of sharing it with you because our one more strength in our academy is also we are very powerful and very, seasoned and very consistent in giving very good results in online platform also apart from offline classes.
absolutely. And I'm sure this will be very beneficial to all people who it reaches to. So thank you so much for all for joining in. And we wish we had more people, but I'm
Yeah.
we'll be uploading this on the YouTube. So the link will be made available to all of you. Right?
Thank you, Nipur.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Somnath. Thank you, Ushaji, for spending time here. Thank you so much.